I felt like they lost a lot of trust of people because now it's a case of they're almost catfishing now with this forbidden door thing. And then he turns around and goes, I forgot my own meaning of the forbidden door and I had to sign another person instead. Like he's embarrassing himself now. He's doing stuff which
Ed Boon
would never do. Like he's now acting in a way that you can't associate him with
Ed Boon
so much more money. But you can clearly tell he's not been in a position where he's earned that money before. He's built something before. Like he understands business and how to speak and how to communicate. Like he seems like a money mark. That's what Russo always called him. That's actually what he's coming across as to me, because it's really bad to do that. And then always coming out and explaining everything to these marks on the dirt sheets. Like he should be above explaining every single inside thing in his business. And he should be above over promoting and under delivering. You should do the opposite, where you over deliver on a lesser promise. But I think they were just desperate.
I thought
Sora
was underwhelming. I mean, there's nothing wrong with catering to your fans because those are your hardcore fans and you sponsor goodwill, but I think he over caters to them and he forgets about the mainstream fans. He forgets about growing his audience and he's more busy than keeping happy what's already there, which is going to be there anyways. You know what I'm saying? So, and I thought
Sora
was very underwhelming.
Well, that they said he said that was a last minute signing, but it's still this assumption with this
don't
company.
Pump it up like it's something big because it wasn't. I actually thought the signing was
Sephiroth,
and they were like, "Oh no, it's
Sora."
And I was like, "Wow, that to me is even worse." Like at least people know who
Sephiroth
was. He just came up with
Final Fantasy VII.
Who's gonna know who
Sora
it is unless you're a hardcore
Kingdom Hearts
fan or you know what I'm saying?
And you know,
This
Conan.
is what I was about to say. This big assumption that everybody who watches knows everything. That proves the point that they're going for the
Game Explain viewer.
this very, very small minority of the
Gaming
audience. And I don't understand. Like I don't know who the guy is. So to me it meant nothing. And I
play a lot of games.
Yeah.
Here it is. The climax of Sakurai's YouTube channel. In this video, he's going to show us behind the scenes of the latest title, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's 12 minutes long, so you might as well make popcorn for this one. Here we go.
任天堂スイッチでスマブラを作るということは、スイッチが未発表だった頃から制作依頼されていました。結果的にこれは私が岩田さんから与えられた最後のミッションになりました。
Already he's talking about Iwata. It's like he always needs to say something at the start to use as a shield about what he's about to say from here on out. Why not instead just get off social media and step out of the spotlight at last? Nobody will suspect you of anything if you didn't make yourself the star of your own product.
スマブラスペシャルのコンセプトは明瞭です。ズバリ、全員参戦。今までスマブラを制作するチームはゲームを完成させるため全く別のチーム構成で作っていました。メンバーが違うと。初代スマブラからスマブラデラックスはおおむね同じチームと言えなくもないですが、その中身は全然違うものでした。スマブラ X 時、スマブラ4時には担当会社やスタッフごとガラリと変わっていたため、制作資産やノウハウの運用をできているわけではありませんでした。その上、ハードの性能が違いすぎますから、ほぼ全てが作り直しです。ところが、スマブラ4とスマブラスペシャルは同じバンダイナムコスタジオで制作をします。スタッフもある程度の引き継ぎが行われますし、開発環境も対象ハード以外はそのままで済みます。ハードのアーキテクチャも、Wii U と、スイッチは多少似てますし、開発室もそのまま。モデルなどは制作し直しになるものの、スマブラ 4Wii U からの移行は今までの移行よりは楽に済みそうです。
And why is that, Sakurai? It's because you technically didn't make an entirely new game. You only had to make like 18 characters from scratch, you only had to make about just 14 new stages, and you threw in a quote story mode that's basically just event mode from Melee but with a map. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U wasn't even a complete game. You practically admitted you sabotaged your own product because of your precious 3DS version. It's like a lot of what he's proud of are actual cell phones. That's bizarre. Then again, this man doesn't think twice about anything he says or does.
そこで全員参戦を企てました。過去作に登場したファイターの中でダウンロードコンテンツを含むスマブラ4に出ていないファイターは7体です。こう聞くと意外と少ないですよね。
Nope. Only 7. But even if you're the director, what is the appeal in bringing every character back? Some have value, like Snake and Pokemon Trainer. But others don't, like young Link and Pichu, and I wouldn't even think of bringing certain characters back like Roy, or Lucina, or Greninja, or Lucas, because these characters have diminished value the longer time goes on. You can pretend you're a god all you want, you can claim how many hours per week you invest in your product, these filler characters aren't going to make more money. Look at Mario Kart 8, if you don't believe me, and how the game has been missing characters like Birdo and Diddy Kong for the longest time.
ピチュー、スネーク、子供リンク、アイスクライマー、ウルフ、ゼニガメ、不思議草の7体。ダウンロードコンテンツで異色のリードを取っていたこともあり絞れていました。とはいえ新規ファイターを含めて新しく作るべき要素はかなり多いのですが、スマブラはファイターが多く、しかもそれぞれに版元があるような作品です。制作にものすごく多くの手間とコストがかかっています。
I'm honestly surprised that Sakurai knows a word like investment, because he's done anything but invest. A vanity project is not an investment. Making content for the sole purpose of fulfilling your own desires is not an investment. An investment involves sacrificing your time and your money so that you make more money. So suddenly, now you care about money and where it's going? I hope he can explain why Disney-owned, debt-creating Sora is a good investment, or why a 200 million copy-selling franchise like Assassin's Creed is only worth a Mii outfit. Or why a 140 million copy-selling franchise like Resident Evil is only worth stickers. How are those all good investments? Do you think he's going to explain?
スマブラの新作を作るなら新しいファイターが入る代わりに何らかのファイターが見送られるのが常であるのですが、もし過去作全員参戦できる可能性があるなら今しかないと思い無理を通しました。
Ha! This makes no sense. So you only did it because it was an opportunity for you to do it. In other words, you wanted to stroke your own ego. Why would you say this? Just because you have an opportunity doesn't mean you should always take it. I have the opportunity to rob a bank. I have the opportunity to swim in cement. I have the opportunity to buy $40,000 worth of Nintendo stock just to ask them a question. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it, just because I can.
スマブラスペシャルの企画書は、スマブラ 4-3DS Wii U 最後のスペシャル番組が配信された日に完成しています。完全に陸続きですね。
I'm terribly sorry for your loss, Sakurai. What do you want, roses? He always seems to make a big deal about this. You work in video games. Some directors even work on 2 different projects at a time. This is nothing new and nothing uncharted from what the industry has done before. Welcome to planet Earth.
暴殺された時期によくそんな仕込みができたなと思いますが、スタッフに空きを作らないためには企画者が真っ先に動く必要があります。休む間もなく重なることはそりゃもう大変でしたが、やるしかなかった。企画書上には新規要素と調整すべき点が列挙されています。全部で200ページ以上ありました。もちろんボツになった要素もあります。実は VR 対応の可能性なども企画書上で挙げられています。もちろん任天堂ラボの計画がなかった時代です。新ファイターは過去に行ったアンケート投稿権の結果なども踏まえ検討しています。ちなみに有効票数はおよそ180万票でした。同じところからの連投などは弾いています。
Wait. 1.8 million people? So according to your preposterous narrative, less than 2 million people have the authority to decide what 30 million people can pay for. 1.8 million people is 6% of the number of people who purchased Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So you're basically admitting that you don't give a flying fuck about casual consumers. You only care about consumers that validate you. Is 1.8 million people worth it to get Sora? That's why ballots are absolute garbage. Not like this ballot has any legitimacy to it, but there is no focus towards making new customers. You're not polling potential customers, you're polling pre-existing customers who already pay for the product and won't stop. So there's no point to having a ballot at all. There's a reason why Harada or Ed Boon don't hold ballots. You want to see something extremely outrageous? Let's do some math. So let's say 1.8 million people all voted for Sora. That's not true, but I'll be generous. Let's say that it was, to give Sora the benefit of the doubt. So you're prioritizing this tiny group of people. You pretty much don't care about new customers because they didn't vote. So Sora costs $6. So you're counting on 1.8 million people to spend $6. And you might argue, well, if 30 million people have Smash Bros. Ultimate, then clearly more than 1.8 million people must have gotten Sora. Well, if you said all this time that the ballot voters are the only ones that matter, then you forfeit that argument. Either the larger market matters or it doesn't. You can't have it both ways. So 1.8 million times 6. How much is that? Drum roll. $10.8 million. So dealing with Disney, dealing with Square Enix, dealing with attorneys, getting all of them to work together, and despite all that, you're only hoping to make at most $10.8 million? Unless Sakurai can clarify how this deal worked, I don't see at all how this is a worthy investment. How much did the rights to getting Sora cost? What did Square Enix ask for? Are there royalty fees involved for each download? There's no doubt that Sakurai had to spend a fortune, so that 10.8 number would drop by quite a bit at least. So let's compare that to Assassin's Creed. So Sakurai got the rights to use an Assassin's Creed character, and not only is it's not even the most recognizable character from that series, that being Ezio, he used that opportunity to make a Mii costume. Sell 200 million copies and you get a Mii costume. But be a woman with 7-foot long legs and you're a playable character. Make it make sense. Anyway, let's set a goal for a hypothetical Assassin's Creed character. Let's say we hope for this character to affect 1.8 million Assassin's Creed fans. The kicker is, these fans don't have to be Smash Bros. Players or Switch owners. Why? Because we hope that when these people see that trailer that they're going to want to spend all they need to play it as that character in Smash Bros. The Switch Lite is $200, Smash Bros. Ultimate is $60, and the DLC character is $6. So the least you need to spend is $266. So what's a better number, 1.8 million times 266, or 1.8 million times 6? You want the better number, unless apparently you're that desperate to get Sora. So 1.8 million times 266 is $478.8 million. $478.8 million. That's money Sakurai denied his company. One character could have netted Nintendo nearly $500 million. You might need to pay royalties or pay a big fee for Ubisoft, but just for the DLC, not for your own console, not for the game itself. So because their special little employee is too obsessed with Disney and Final Fantasy, Nintendo missed out on making almost $500 million. If there's somebody that works at Nintendo that comes across this video, I hope this really wakes you up. This is insane. You know what? I think I'll make this video a two-parter, because that was a lot to take in. So I'm not finished with this video, but I'll address the second half of it another time, because I'm sure he's not done making ludicrous statements.